All right, coming at you live from wonderful and illustrious and mysterious Mount Soledad in San Diego County here. Brian Britton with Tip the Spear Real Estate Team, and we got Kyle with the Lime Mortgage.
It's called Man Cave.
We're at the Man Cave.
At the Man Cave, Mount Soledad.
So yesterday I asked on Facebook, I said, send me some real estate questions. Thinking of making a Q&A video. It could be about real estate, me, my team, whatever you want. Send it. So thank you guys.
Go off the list?
Yeah, let's just go off the list. Thank you guys for taking that to heart. Here we go. First question, Austin Waits. Who would win in a fight, Ninja Turtles or Batman?
I'll go. I'll take that. I think Ninja Turtles.
100%.
There's 5 of him and then this one of Batman.
Well, there's 4 of them. But they got split too.
That's right. I was thinking of that.
But still,
Good
I mean,
point.
what's Batman? He's a fucking rich dude. Well, rich crybaby that's got a bunch
That
of
has
gadgets.
superpowers.
Right.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles are fucking bulletproof.
And they have hard shells.
And they have hard shells.
Yeah.
And they got Casey Jones in case they ever get
That's
beat
us.
up. Like,
Yeah.
they
April.
got April O'Neil, who just reports and
Orders pizza.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Get some food. Master Splinter. Hey, man.
Austin Waits. All right, there we go. Ninja Turtles.
There
Next
you go,
question.
Austin. Next, Stacy. How many marshmallows can you fit in your mouth and still say fluffy bunny?
That's interesting. I've never tried that, so I don't know.
6. I'm gonna say 6.
Okay.
Babe, wife, my beautiful wife says, all right, eventually some of these get serious. My wife Sophie says, on a scale of 1 to 10, what makes your wife a 1 million? On a scale of 1 to 10.
You're on video.
I know. I love you. Is that the answer?
That's it.
You're my favorite. I don't know. My wife's amazing. Next question. Ron Berner, teaching me how to do videos. $1,000 an hour. I got you. Travis says, why is it called real estate? Can there be a fake estate? If so, what would that entail? Please respond in Old English.
You got a bunch of comedians following you.
I posted this on my personal page, not on my business page, so it was going to get silly.
Let's get some.
All right.
We go.
Here we go.
Next one,
All right, so Runfeld, what are the benefits of the VA loan? Is there any situations why you would not want to use a VA loan? Would you recommend having money for a down payment when you're using a VA loan? Why or why not? Great question. Good thing we got our loan officer partner here. Go ahead.
Ninja Turtles.
First try, top score.
All right, so what are the benefits? I mean, obviously 0% down, no PMI, which means no private mortgage insurance for not having the 20% down payment that's required normally. Are there any situations you recommend, like not using a VA loan? I mean, honestly, not really. The only one I can even think of is if you're not exempt from the funding fee, and then you have a lot of money for the down payment. The VA funding fee is 2.3%. If you do 5 or 10%, then that amount goes down. So you could perhaps do a conventional, put that money down, but the VA loan, the rates are about a half point to a full point lower normally. So I would still say using the VA loan might be the better choice depending on specific situation.
So one thing that I hear people ask a lot is if they can buy a house using a VA loan with like a family member or friend or something like that doesn't rate the VA loan. That's kind of a situation that maybe we can jump on a little bit too.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. So say you have like a father and son. Say the father served, the son didn't. They want to live together now. Usually the VA will require 12.5% down payment. Because the VA covers 25% for the veteran, so you split that in half, you get 12.5%. So yeah, that would be one actually where you can consider, you know, if you have money for a down payment, but also with the VA you get the lower rate. So that's why I would say that would be the better one.
Right. So there are situations where maybe it's better, maybe not. Every situation is different, and if you do have questions, you can always reach out to us. We'll help you figure out the right solution for you.
Exactly. It's very specific to each client, I would say. But usually the VA loan wins.
All right. Next question. Coiner, refinancing, good idea in the long run or just plain stupid and irresponsible?
I like the last part of that.
Yeah. Obviously stupid and irresponsible.
Yeah.
Totally. No,
it's a good idea to refinance, especially if rates are low, especially if they are right now. You know, you can get below 3% right now with like no discount points. You're not buying down the rate. With the refinance, it always depends on how long you plan on owning the property for. If you're planning on owning it for another year, it's probably not worth it. You always want to look at your recoup cost, which is, you know, how much money is the cost to refinance and how much money am I saving each month until I recoup that cost. Okay, 24 months, I'm going to own the house for 5 years. Cool. It's worth it because after 24 months, it's nothing but savings in your pocket.
Yeah.
So I would say it's very specific to each person, but usually a good idea.
There you go. Perfect. Good answer. Next question. LJ, where are the best, most cost-effective locations in San Diego with an acre or more for, say, around
I
$375?
think this is you.
I think this is me.
I do
LJ,
this.
you must go east. That's the answer. If you want big property and you don't want to spend a lot of money, you go to Far East County. If you're right now, and this is always different, but right now, if you're looking at something like that, you want a real big piece of property. I mean, you can go out towards Campo or Humboldt, kind of starting to get a little bit more expensive, but out towards Campo or like the Elzura area, if you want to, depending on what you're into, if you're into like desert sports and stuff like that, you can get a place in out in Borrego Springs or something like that, or out towards Ocotillo for pretty decent price, on a pretty decent piece of land. You can be probably still under $375. So, but again, that just depends on, it always depends on the market. So right now, if you're thinking about getting a big piece of dirt and you want a house on there and stuff like that, I got a buddy that lives in Borrego Springs. He loves it out there. A couple friends actually. They love it out there. It's a really cool place. It's just far from everything. So if you're looking for something like that, hey, that's kind of a perfect spot.
Usually people looking for just that are already looking for just like by themselves. They want to be like more land.
Yeah, be on your own program.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, if you're looking for some land, if you're looking for, a house on a piece of dirt, then yeah, I would say East County. I mean, you don't have to go all the way to the desert. You can go out to the mountains and stuff like that. Just head east of El Cajon, head east of Alpine, that kind of thing, and you'll be all right.
It's doable.
Yeah. Next question from my mom. Will you go on a river raft trip with me down the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon? I think she's talking to you.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Kyle's in, Mom. Next question. Oh my God. I'm so glad I agreed to this. What crimes committed on the property do I have to let future buyers know about?
I think that's a you question. I'm not really sure about that.
So, murder.
Is this a real question? Yeah.
It's really,
Like
really
someone
was
died
a
in the
comment
house?
on there.
No, I
so,
believe you. I just don't know the answer to that.
So for a death within 3 years, you have to disclose in the state of California. I don't know how it is outside, regardless of the nature of the death. But if it's a murder or something like that, you definitely want to disclose.
I bet you never really thought of that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
right. So the big idea is, don't fucking commit crime. But if you're aware of any crimes that have been committed on the property that might affect the value of the property, you need to disclose that. There's the two things that people get sued for the most in real estate is land and non-disclosure. So buy a piece of dirt, do your due diligence. If you're selling a house, make sure you tell the buyer everything you know about the property, because if they find out that you know something about it that affects the value of it, it's a really, really easy way to get yourself sued. So I don't know if that answers your question, Colin, but
Colin McDonald. What up, man? Shout out.
hey. Anyway.
Refinance.
Oh yeah, no shit, huh?
Yeah.
Next one, Doc Peaches. What does a home loan approval process look like for someone who filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy 6 to 12 months ago? Kyle, that's a great question for you.
That is a good question. Chapter 7, you're good to go. As soon as it's discharged, you can start the application, get pre-approved the next day. Chapter 13 is the one you have to wait 2 years from the discharge date until you close on your home.
All right.
So
there you go, Doc.
Good question.
He's an Iraq with me.
nice.
Good dude. All right, Tiffany Hallier. How far in advance of starting to look should you get pre-qualified? This is like 15
Multiple
questions.
questions.
Let's start on the first one. How far in advance of starting to look should you get pre-qualified?
Now, I always say start the process sooner rather than later, even if you're not looking for 6 months to a year, because there could be stuff you have to work on. Credit score, it might be stuff as far as income as well. Obviously, that's a little harder to change, but you know where you're going. You know you're at right now, and if where you are at right now is where you want to purchase to, keep the course. But if you need to work on credit or paying off some debt, at least and there's certain things you can focus on that aren't so obvious.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So start sooner rather than later, and I'd say start a year before you're ready.
So, and that brings up another thing. So, call your lender as soon as you have an idea. Call a lender, call your realtor, call somebody that you know. Call us. Shit, we'll figure it out. But the big idea is these guys take a lot of stuff into account, not just your credit. It's your debt to income ratio, all of your debts, actually how much money, but freaking 15 other things that they take into account. So when these guys pull your information, when you give them all your stuff, a good lender like Kyle will take a look at everything you have. He'll run if there's ways that he thinks that he can help you to either save money on your interest rate or stuff that you need to do in order to get yourself loan worthy. He'll actually go through and run a bunch of scenarios in his system. He'll talk to you and say, hey, look, if you pay this down, get rid of this debt, get this off your credit.
I'm a ninja.
Yeah, he's a ninja. Exactly. He'll figure out a way to make it so that you can either get a loan or like, hey, your credit score's right here, but if you pay this to this amount of money, if you pay this credit card down to X amount of money, we can bump your credit score up this much. You can save this much on your interest rate, and you'll actually be able to save a lot more in the long run. So if you're thinking about buying a house, get a hold of your lender quickly is the answer to that one.
Yeah. Always start sooner than later. What was the other question?
How long do you have to be at a job for your income to be included? And does that all still apply when using a VA loan?
How long do you have to be at your job for being included? Okay, so if it's seasonal or part-time, we're looking for 2 years history. If it is salary or you're working full-time, we can use the income right away. We don't need the 2 years history with that. Say you're in school and then you get a job offer, we can use that income with the job offer right away because we can count the schooling as years worked, even though you weren't making money, but it's qualifying you to get the job you have now. So we can use the income basically right away as long as it's not part-time or seasonal. With that, we need 2 years history.
There you go.
What was the?
How does combined income of a veteran and spouse help or hurt with getting a VA loan?
Definitely does not hurt. There's no way that it hurts it. I mean, more income makes your loan look stronger. Veteran spouse, yeah, I mean, that's a dual income, and more money you can, offset your debts and pay towards a mortgage. So really doesn't hurt it at all.
Unless the spouse has like a 300 credit score and debt to income ratio like 96%.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
That might be an issue.
Say the spouse makes like $500 a month, but then she has, a really, really low credit score. You can remove her from the loan and do what's called a non-purchasing spouse. But you still need to count her debts. California.
Yeah, that's right. This is just in California, by the way. Every state's different. So, Tiffany, I know you guys are out in Arizona. It might be different there. We can connect you with some good folks out there when you and John are ready to go. What are the benefits?
Our benefits.
Are benefits counted towards income when using VA loan?
Absolutely. Yes. 100%. All day, every day.
So, and the cool thing about it is with, like, say, VA disability, because it's non-taxable, lenders actually don't just use 100% of it because they take into account the difference of what your taxes would look like or would be for that.
So we can gross it up 125%.
Yeah. So 100.
So say you're getting $100 a month, we actually look at it like $125 a month because it's non-taxable.
There you go. Do math from there. Top 5 question to ask and or look for or be aware of when buying a home.
That sounds you.
So, the best thing that I can tell you, and this is still a Tiffany question, the best thing that I can tell you is make sure that you have a real estate agent and a lender who are looking out for your best interests, right? There's, just in San Diego County alone, there's like 24,000 licensed real estate agents. Some of us are really great, and some of us fucking suck, right? And it's the same in the lender world. There's a million of these guys too. Each one of us offers different things. Each one of us helps in a different way. Make sure if you're gonna find somebody that's gonna help you make probably the biggest purchase of your life, make sure they're in it to watch out for your best interest. Make sure they're in it to help you out. That, there's a lot of folks that are like trying to get in this industry just to make money, and I want to be rich. I'm gonna sell real estate. Make sure those people are actually looking out for your best interest.
They don't have the ethical moral code. Yeah,
and there is that. I've seen a lot of it already, but make sure that those people are actually looking to take care of you. That's the biggest thing. Interview your agents, interview your loan officers. You can shop around loan officers as well. Make sure that you're talking to somebody that is going to get you a good deal, but also research them, because there's a lot of loan officers out there that will offer you the world, and then you get into escrow and all of a sudden, oh, you have to pay this much more in order to get that. Oh, sorry, your interest rate's this much now. Oh yeah, we can't do this. And then, you know, the next thing you know, you're paying way more than what they promised, just because it's a kind of a little bait and switch thing that some companies do. But
yeah, with that, I think go on word of mouth, trust, referrals, whatever.
Yeah.
If you trust and know your real estate agent, introduce you to a lender. You don't always have to go with that lender, but you know, like you said, talk to a couple. The other important thing with that one is, you know, as far as communication, a lot of people will hear from the lender during the pre-approval process, but they go into contract, never hear from them again, or you know, stuff comes up on a weekend. So if you're working for a big bank or something like that, you're working with that 9 to 5 Monday through Friday lender, you know, stuff comes up on a weekend, they might not be there to help out, and you know, do you really want to wait until Monday morning at 9 a.m.? So
right,
I mean, that's a big thing too, I would say. Just make sure communication is there and make sure that service component's there.
Yep, absolutely. So biggest thing is make sure your people that you're working with are out there to work with you, not just make money off of you.
I would say another one, ask them, how many transactions have you done in the last year? You want to know that they're not, like, this is a full-time job, that they're not, you know, that they're actually a good agent, that they've done like listings and buyer sites.
Absolutely.
Specifically for us just doing VA, how many VA transactions have you done in the last year?
Yeah.
That's a big one. Because there's lots of things with the VA loan, you know, where certain agents like yourself are very knowledgeable in, can navigate, where others might not. Or talking to a listing agent that doesn't know anything about a VA loan, you have a buyer's agent like you that can be like, hey, you know, not much is different. You know, here's all we're looking for. So,
well, and we've actually done that before, where one of our offers for one of our clients wasn't going to get accepted because it was a VA loan, and the agent would. I mean, nice guy. He just wasn't educated about the VA loan and what it is nowadays. He's a guy that, good old Hank. Yeah, that's right.
He was old. He was older. He's been in the game, the real estate game, for a really long time. So he's like, oh, the VA loan used to be this and used to be that, and like I got on the phone with him after he talked to you, and
he actually came to the seminar. So Kyle's company actually does VA home loan seminars, both for buyers and for realtors, to kind of educate on what the latest and greatest are, which is great. You know, knowledge is power. So old Hank and I were talking on the phone. He's like, yeah, we're not going to accept your offer. I said, why? And he goes, well, because VA loan, you know, my clients don't have to pay closing costs. I said, we're not asking for them. Oh, but don't you have to pay closing costs for the VA loan? Is that right? Here's what we're gonna do, Hank. So I invited him to the home loan seminar that these guys had. I actually met him there. We sat through it together and stuff like that. And after he had gained all that information and gained all that new knowledge, he was like, man, I had no idea. This is great. I appreciate it. We'll go ahead and accept your offer. So just giving that agent a little bit of knowledge was able to get our client his house.
Yep.
Right. So that was really cool. Anyway, that's kind of a big idea. Make sure, especially if you're using VA home loan, make sure you're working with somebody that knows the process. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that I just want to work with somebody because they're a family or a friend or whatever. That person might be great, but that person may or may not actually know much about VA loans. And if they don't, they can really, really set you back.
Or about real estate.
Or about real estate in general, sure. Right. So just make sure you're working with somebody that has experience and actually can answer your questions about the VA loan.
Yep.
Fair. Next question. Jamie Henriksen, this is my old boss in the Forest Service. Are you good at breaking stuff?
I'm assuming that answer is yes.
I'm better at breaking stuff than anybody named Jamie Henriksen. How about that?
Shout out.
Yeah, man, I miss you, bro. Anyway, next one. Justin Dickard. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Great movie.
Dan Benjamin. Do you put the real in real estate? No, bud, you do. He works out in my office too. He's another agent in my office. Oliver. Oliver Armstrong, Intel Marine vet. If I buy a residential lot under the name of a Russian shell corp, dig 100 meters deep and line it with concrete, then accept and dump industrial waste, how long before anyone will notice and I have to abandon the site, pocketing all the cash?
Is this a you question? Don't do it.
Oh my God.
Don't do it.
Don't tell me about that. If you want to buy a piece of land, that's great. I don't know shit. Well played, sir. No, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Is the answer. We'll talk
Only
later.
if you get caught.
No, only if you get caught. Right. All right. Back to real estate stuff. That's actually a legit real estate question. Rolfo, yeah. Can I turn my VA loan into a conventional if I want to buy a second house? It's a hell of a great question.
Yeah, that is good. This one's for me.
Yeah, it
This
is.
is me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely you can. If you purchase your home with a VA loan, you can convert it into, you refinance it into conventional, get your full entitlement back, and then purchase. Also, I would say before that, talk to someone, a lender that knows what they're talking about, because you might not need to refinance it into a conventional just to purchase that second property. You can hold multiple VA loans at the same time. So make sure that's your last option that you have to do. Because again, VA rates are better, so you could refinance the rate down or keep your VA loan, still purchase the same one, depending on like down payment, stuff like that. So there's multiple scenarios on that, but 100% an option.
Do you want to maybe hit on the 80% LTV?
Yeah, I mean, so that's ideal. If you were buying a home and you didn't have any entitlement left to purchase a second home with the VA loan, yeah, if you hit 80% LTV, that means that you can refinance it into conventional.
That means loan to value, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Loan to value. So your home is worth $100,000 and you only owe 80. Easy math again.
There you go.
For you.
Math for Marines, baby.
That's 80% LTV. So that's when you refinance it into a conventional. Reason you want to be 80% loan to value is because then you don't have to pay the PMI, the private mortgage insurance that comes with it. But again, I'd strongly recommend running the numbers first to make sure you even needed to refinance in a conventional, because I've had this happen quite a bit where they were good to have one VA loan and then they could purchase the next one without refinancing it. So,
right. A lot of it depends on what the loan limits are and for
Exactly.
first and second tier entitlement.
what you have for a down payment, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to do that, Rolfo, talk to a local lender and get a hold of us.
Where's he at?
He's in Kansas.
All right, we probably got someone in Kansas, Rolfo.
Yeah. So let me know, dude. We'll figure it out. Next, Ron Berner. Have you ever negotiated a new roof for your buyer? We're about to.
We got a fence.
We got it. We did
got
get
a fence. We
Yeah.
got a fence.
We had a whole fence. We're about to negotiate a new roof too, man. It's gonna be new high. Thanks, bud. Next one, and the very last comment that we have, Derek Rolfo again. Are you single?
Oh, hey-o.
I am not.
I think this one's for you. I don't have a wedding ring.
This little circle tells me I am not. I'm in a very great relationship with my very loving wife, woman. I love you. And Kyle is also in a relationship.
This is fun though.
Mhm.
So send some more, and we'll do like a Facebook Live or something like that. We'll answer some more questions. Hopefully, it was helpful.
Yeah, I feel like we got some good knowledge out there. Yeah. Send it.
World.
Good luck, everybody.
It's in the cloud.
It's in the cloud.
It's in the cloud.
It's out there
Just
now.
pull it down.
All right, we'll do it again. Any other questions y'all have, let us know and we'll make it happen. Cheers.